Ready? Hello, and thank you for attending the Renew Schools Teacher Evaluation Overview for the 2016-2017 school year. I'm Gabrielle Misfeld, Executive Director of Talent and Strategy. At Renew Schools, we believe that the key to closing the achievement gap is effective classroom instruction. And so in order to effectively prepare our students for success, we must maximize our impact on student learning by coaching and developing teachers to be able to plan rigorous, engaging, Common Core aligned lessons and effectively implement them. We believe that all teachers, regardless of your experience or your performance level, can improve in meaningful, measurable, and significant ways through great coaching. So this presentation is going to outline the ways in which we are going to support you and how your evaluation is determined. Our objective for today is for teachers to review and understand details about the teacher evaluation system. Your evaluation for the 16-17 school year will include multiple measures. So depending on your grading content area, this will include either student or parent surveys, observations, and student achievement data. For example, the student achievement data may include multiple measures like MAP, VAM, STAR data, again, depending on your grade or content area. All teachers will have 30% of their evaluation be accounted for with observations, which will be determined using the AIM rubric. And then your surveys, again, will be dependent on whether or not you have pre-K2 or 312, and those will be either student or parent surveys that will account for 10% of your evaluation. And if you haven't already talked with your school leader, you will receive a one-pager that aligns to the specific grade level or content area that you teach. So there are 4 different performance levels for your evaluation: ineffective, minimally effective, effective, and highly effective. And we've aligned these evaluation system performance levels with the AIM rubric levels to, again, ensure that we're all speaking the same language. And you will see this noted in the teacher compensation training that you should have received. So the 60% of your student achievement data is, again, based upon the grade level or the content area that you teach. And so you can see on this slide, it outlines everything from pre-K to high school, includes special ed teachers, ELL teachers, and elective teachers, and specifically what those different measures are that go into the 60% of the student achievement score. So the example that you see here is for a VAM, is for a 4th or 8th grade core content teacher. The VAM will account for 40% of their student achievement score. The other 20% will be based on STAR. But this is, again, just a specific example of one teacher, and talks a little bit more about how specifically those student achievement scores will factor into your evaluation. So you can see the different cut scores, the different percentiles from ineffective all the way up to highly effective. The 30% of your evaluation that is based on observation, this slide outlines more details about that. So we know that you deserve to be coached, and in order to help you improve your practice, we need to know where you are. And so by conducting multiple observations for multiple observers and having you conduct a self-assessment against the AIM rubric, we'll be able to best support your development. So the observation period dates that you see on this table here are aligned to the benchmarks. So the first observation is a baseline that does not count towards your final observation score. That should happen within the first few weeks of school to give your school leadership team a sense about where you are. And then the other scores are all, or the other benchmarks are all aligned to when the student benchmarks happen. All full observations that are entered into Whetstone will be included in your final observation score, again, with the exception of the baseline. Instructional round observations do not count towards your observation score, just full observations that go as part of your full-time instructional coaching. At the end of the year, your full observation scores are going to be averaged together to, again, create a final observation score, which will count for 30% of your final evaluation. Depending on your grade, either a student, which will be grades 3 through 12th, or parents' grades pre-K to 2nd, will be factored into your evaluation for 10%. We have gotten information and feedback from teachers and leaders to make sure that those surveys are comprehensive and that they are measurable of teacher success. And then at the end of the year, those 2 survey scores will be averaged together to create the final survey score that will count for 10% of your final evaluation. We do want to note that in order to count that survey as part of the 10%, we will need at least 10 students or parents to complete the survey. If for some reason we have less than 10 students or parents complete it, your observation average will actually bump up to 40%, and then student achievement would still account for the 60% of your final evaluation score. So again, we want to make sure we're being transparent, let you know how you're doing. So you will get a mid-year evaluation progress report, and then an update at the end of the year when we do have the data that is available. Your final evaluation score will be given the following fall. So unless we have all of the information back for teachers in the entire building, we will not disseminate final evaluation scores. So what that means, particularly for the student achievement data piece, because we use state assessments, we are dependent on the Louisiana Department of Education to release that data. So unfortunately, that may be later than we anticipate. It likely will be winter in 2017 when we get that data back. So we will be, once we get all that data back again, rolling that up and making sure that you have that information available to you from your school leader and from us. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact your school leader, HR at Renew Schools, or you can contact Samit at that email address listed there. Thank you again so much for taking time to listen to us today. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to let us know. Thanks so much.
It's still recording, but
Good? Yeah. Yay. That was easy. Mike's, I was like, we're really going to send him a video progress report?
coupon.